for me, the story of this game should be Derek White in 38 points, 8 for 15 from three. That's what the story should be because he's unbelievable. But the story is going to be that little skirmish, that little dust up that happened at the end there between Bam Adebayo and Jayson Tatum. It's a dirty play. It's a dirty play. There's no ways around it. That's a dirty play.
100% disagree. I mean, I could see where you're coming from. I opened Twitter, the Twitter app, the X app rather, excuse me, and all of Celtics Twitter, Celtics X, I don't know what, they were all outraged, like saying this is a dirty play. I get that Miami has the dirty history. I'm fine if you want to ban them. I don't give a fuck. I hope they all go to jail. But this was not a dirty play in any way. Like, as much as I hate the Heat and love the Celtics, like, it's after the whistle. Imagine Joe Mazzulla when he went out to block a shot in that other game, rolled someone else's ankle. What would we be saying?
Yeah, he wasn't landing in anybody's landing zone. He was doing it the right way.
Dude, he didn't mean to because he was in slow motion, like trying to. He just listen. Things happen. Bang bang plays. It's after the whistle. If you want to shoot a jump shot, you're gonna get a contested shot. Like no matter what, after the whistle.
So if you just punched him in the face after the whistle, it's like, oh, whatever. It's after the whistle. It's free game. Anyone can do anything.
No, because that would be on purpose. That would be like clearly like Al Horford got a tech because he bumped him after defending our guy, which I love. Yeah. Shout out Al Horford. That's also going to get lost in this kerfluffle.
Yeah. Yes,
but it's not. If you're so basically, your argument is you're telling me Bam Adebayo saw Tatum shooting a three and he like stuck his leg out and landed underneath Tatum. That's what you're telling me.
I mean,
true or false?
I don't know. I don't know if he. I think he was.
That would be equivalent to punching someone.
Like, I'm gonna injure. I don't think he was like, I'm gonna injure Tatum, but I think it was like, oh fuck this. Like I'm just gonna lunge at him, with the intent of like really disrupting him. You know what?
Okay, so then his intentions weren't to, oh, maybe if I stick my leg under his legs, he'll roll his ankle and get hurt. Like that's not what he was thinking in the moment. And I can't believe I'm defending Bam Adebayo here because I hate him.
I don't know.
And I can't believe I'm fighting the same fight as Stan Van Gundy, who, by the way, is somehow worse than Doris Burke. He literally during the call said, "I know I'm biased here, but I don't like the way the Celtics are playing right now." So the whole call is biased. It's clearly against the Celtics. Like you can't say that if you're calling the game from an unbiased.
It's absurd.
Like, go ahead.
They were up like 28, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't really like what they're doing. I don't really like what I know they're winning, but I don't really like what the Celtics are doing." And I'm watching the game, and I'm actually like doing I was cleaning my room. I was getting this whole set up, so I wasn't watching the basketball for a little while. So I'm turning around. I'm like, shit, Miami must have came all the way back. No, Celtics are up by like 21. But he's like,
no, yeah,
I
mean,
really
dude,
like
he was like, I don't like the way they're playing. They really haven't gotten much going tonight. They're shooting like 45% from three, playing well defensively. The Heat couldn't score, and Derek White had 30 points in the third quarter. Like, how do we have nothing going?
I don't understand he kept coming back to the point where it's like they're not playing as well defensively as they were in game 3. And it's like, I guess you could maybe argue that like the energy was a little less, but then you just look at the output. Miami struggled to get 88 points. So like, what are we doing? Like they weren't playing as good defensively. Like they were. Like I don't know why.
I could see it was a little sloppy to start the game. Like it was very fast paced and there's a lot of missed shots on both ends, but that doesn't mean that we have nothing going. Like clearly Mazzulla wanted to speed up the ball game and he did. And listen, we still won by 25. So it is what it is. I don't give a fuck. But I just want to say that I think if roles were reversed, I'm trying to be an unbiased sports observer here. If roles were reversed and Tatum did that, you would not be saying this is a dirty play. It's just because the Heat have a history of being dirty against the Celtics.
Oh, if Tatum did that to a Heat player, if Tatum did that to Tyler Hero, the world would be on fire. Everyone would be like,
disagree,
oh my God,
dude, disagree. So disagree.
I think, especially Heat fans. Oh my God, Heat fans would lose their shit.
Well, it's because Celtics fans and Heat fans hate each other. So no matter what, we're gonna say it's a dirty play. But like relatively, if those two players didn't have names, didn't have faces, and that play happened, you would after the whistle. There's no landing zone after the whistle.
I don't know. It's not great.
It's just not.
It's not great.
If Tatum jumped to shoot a shot and he like pushed him in the chest, I would have been like, okay, that's a flagrant.
Right. Oh, I'm glad he got a flagrant. I think he should have gotten a flagrant. Absolutely.
I don't think he should have. I think it should have been a play on. I'm being honest here. I like a little. a little rough. Like I don't. I like the banging down low and getting dirty.
I just
but
hate the landing zone stuff. I hate so much just because it's like you could just end the guy's season like just by like sticking your leg out.
Right, but you got to think of like you really think it's intentional. You think Bam was looking at his feet, seeing where he's gonna land. He's like, let me put my foot right there.
No, I think he was just like, oh fuck this, like, and just like got in his face real quick and like not thinking. Obviously, it's split second. I can't judge him off a split
I
second.
think
Judge,
he was
but
just doing
I
the
am
no
like here
free
I am doing
shots.
it.
I think
Yeah,
he was doing the
too
no free
much.
shots after the whistle. Tried to block
Yeah.
it and just happened to be under Tatum's leg. Like if he was moving full speed, he probably wouldn't have closed out like that in slow motion and stuck his leg out because you got to watch out for that stuff. But there should be no rule about landing zone after the whistle. That's all I'm saying.
Again, Derek White should be the story. 38 points.
The best 3 blocks.
That was so cool, so cool. I love it. That's 3 blocks. It's a. I don't. I was gonna say a vintage Derek White game. No. It's just regular Derek White game. It's just what he does.
Career high. Career
Continues to
high
be
playoff points.
maybe the most. That's amazing. How worried are we if Kristaps is hurt?
That's going to be the real story of the game, not this stupid Bam flop stuff. It's going to get overshadowed. But like, how worried am I that he's hurt? Right now, in current, like as we speak, I'm trying to ignore it and pretending like it didn't even happen at all, and they just took him out because he needed a breather. That's kind of where I'm at now. I know that's not the case. The first report I read said that he's getting an MRI, but there's no immediate worries of Achilles injuries. They're just like getting an MRI, which my whole life I thought MRI. I know X-rays for bones, but I thought MRI was like for tendons and stuff. So if they're doing that, then there's got to be some worry. You know,
MRI is not a great sign.
No, I'm hoping it's just a little calf strain. I mean, we all get maybe calf cramp. He's probably had a cramp.
Sure,
probably cramping up.
Maybe a calf cramp because he was. What it concerns me is he was favoring the other one, and then that one went, and I was like, oh boy, what is going on here?
It's going to be a real bummer if the whole season we dodged injuries with him, and the whole narrative was like, oh, he's just going to get hurt, and it's not going to matter. And then, like the first playoff series, he's out. That would suck. We're considered a super team yet. We didn't talk about it. Super team, but we had no nominations for any of the Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, stuff like that. We're probably going to have maybe Tatum first team, maybe Jaylen Brown third team, yet we're a super team. So I just like to know where that narrative came from because a super team needs to have accolades, and we clearly have none.
None.
I don't get the narrative. It's like, are we a super team? If we are, then shouldn't we have 3 All-Stars? Oh, we're not a super team. Blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever. So we're just a basketball team trying to win games. And we're going to.
I have like a little. I still have some concerns about the like. It's almost like the way they've been playing against the Heat this series. The games they've won have been by huge margins, but like they haven't been like overly tight to me. A lot of the times I'm just like Miami has a terrible roster. Like Miami has a really bad roster, especially with that.
They're a bad team anyway.
The New York with like a guy like Brunson, or like even if we make it to the finals and play Denver, I'm like, oh, we got to tighten up a lot of things, in my opinion. And I wasn't saying this in the regular season because again, they're one of the 12 best regular season teams ever. So there wasn't anything to say. But now I'm seeing this and I'm like, I think Miami's horrible roster is masking some maybe inconsistencies with the Celtics playoff performances thus far.
No, yeah, I agree. I also like in my head every time I'm like, oh, we're gonna get that Tatum memorable playoff performance that we've only seen a couple of times on it. Like I'm just being honest here. Yeah. Which when it happens, it's awesome. But every game, I'm like, oh, we're due for a Tatum game, and it's like that's not how we should think about this. We should just play team basketball and win the way we've been winning all year. But no, Kristaps Porzingis is in my prayers tonight and every night, obviously, just because
every night
that's how my prayers work. Yeah.
It's number one. No, Tatum.
One more game left.
I feel the same thing about Tatum. Yeah, I feel the same thing about Tatum. Like whenever there's a point in the game where it gets rocky, and that happens a little bit against Miami. Yet it's usually when we're already up like 16. But I'm like, Tatum, just take over. And hit a 3 tonight. I forget. I think it was it was in the end of the first half. He just step back 3 over maybe Caleb Martin, and he just did that thing. And I was like, oh, I just want more of this. But then again, look, they're winning by 20. So I'm like, I can't really complain. A lot of people are saying Anthony Edwards over Jayson Tatum, which is obviously recency bias at its finest, but I also understand it just because of the aura that Anthony Edwards is displaying, which we have been on early. Um, I don't even know, like, it's tricky for me to like even have that debate because I just think Tatum can do so much more. Tatum's bigger, and also the team situations are so different that it's like, look, if you look back at Tatum his rookie year, he's dunking on LeBron. You know what I mean? It was a similar vibe like when Tatum first arrived on the playoff scene as it is to right now with Ant. So I'm like, I don't really know if we can have that discussion yet. I don't want to have to say that Anthony Edwards is better than Jayson Tatum. That's for sure.
Yeah, and if any Celtics fan's gonna take Anthony Edwards' side, it's you. You love that guy, which he's awesome. The only argument I can see right now is that the aura like clutch perspective thing, which who knows if the statistics really back it up. Tatum is an underrated clutch player, but Tatum all around. I mean, you think about it, he's bigger than Bam Adebayo, and Bam Adebayo just made his first ever playoff 3-pointer tonight. Tatum can score on every level. He can just hum threes. He's so tall and just dominates. So it's tough for me to compare. And also, Ant's a lot younger.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah,
it's such different.
Jayson Tatum and the Celtics swept Kevin Durant before, and he did not get praise of being, a top.
Had a buzzer beater, by the way. Tatum had a buzzer beater in that series.
Yeah, so it's no, I mean I get the comparisons. He's great. It's also fun to shit on Tatum and any team from Boston. So I understand those narratives in the sports world. But yeah, no, Tatum statistically, physically, like just eye test clears. Ant will get hot, but he'll have games where he scores like 12 points.
12. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Both said 12. That's
Look at us.
Look at us. So connected. All right. Anything more on the Celtics? That's all I have. They play the day
Wednesday, 7:30.
Wednesday, yeah.
In the Garden.
There's some scuttlebutt about Van Gundy was talking about this. They petitioned to just play every game in Miami since they just win apparently in Miami. I want them to win by 50 in the Garden on Wednesday. More than 50.
Dude. Between the Heat and the Celtics, 11 of the last 14 games have been won by the road team, which is an anomaly in playoff sports.
These series between them are anomalies. It's absurd. I don't quite understand it.